AI data centers and their connection with the fallen
Hey guys, it's
angels.
KJ from the scariest movie ever. They're naming their robot control centers after demons and fallen angels that the Bible specifically warned about, the same entities that God sent the flood to destroy. That's not a coincidence, and it's not just cool sounding names. They're
How we doing,
telling you
Chad?
what they're building, all to get ready for the mass disappearance of human beings, let's say, the post human existence coming on by the next world war and other factors. These data centers are being built to teach artificial intelligence how to control robot armies, just like the Terminator. Robots that can hunt people, identify targets, and take a life without waiting for a human to approve it. Here's one of the companies I'm talking about, Stratos. You can even see here they're showing you the grid they're creating all around the world, like Project Stargate AI. But it's interesting to keep in mind that Stratos comes from the ancient Greek Archistratos, where Archon means demonic ruler, and then Stratos means army. In Ephesians 6, Paul uses the word archons to describe the rulers, the authorities, the powers of this dark world, and the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And that's biblical Greek for demons, the principalities running the fallen world system. And here we find it with Stratos. Here's another one of the companies. This one's called Hyperion. And Hyperion means the high one or watcher from above in ancient Greek. In the book of Enoch, the Watchers were fallen angels who came to earth before the flood, took human wives, taught humanity weapons and sorcery, created the Nephilim, and corrupted creation so completely that God drowned the entire planet. Hyperion, the high one, watcher from above. And here's another one, an AI company called Prometheus. And this was created by Jeff Bezos, November 2025. And Prometheus, if you didn't know, is a titan in Greek mythology, known for defying the Olympian gods by stealing fire and giving it to humanity, symbolizing knowledge and civilization. So it's really a mirror of Lucifer, bringing enlightenment and knowledge to mankind. But our Father God didn't want that. So we see this.
I mean, so all these 6.2 billion, it's all for. I believe AI is all for bringing demons into reality. It's like opening portals to bring demons here. That's kind of what I've been.
Same story reflected there again, but there's something interesting about Prometheus. It's not just the fact that it's a company here from Bezos. It seems that Mark Zuckerberg has announced Meta is building several massive AI data centers with primary projects named Prometheus and Hyperion once again. So Prometheus, not just Bezos, but also Zuckerberg with Prometheus, the Titan, the giant. By now, I'm sure you've heard of Palantir, the company. It's also connected with the White House, the Trump administration. They're tasked with helping to bring in this Project Stargate AI, which is going to be like a grid, a AI grid around the world. But here we have Palantir, and Palantir is actually a fictional magical artifact from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and it was described as an indestructible crystal ball used for communication and seeing events in distant places of the past. Also, it's translated to farsight or watch over, but interesting we find kind of that occult meaning here behind another one of these AI companies. Not incredibly surprised. There's even an argument to be made that the symbol up in the top left corner is an upside-down pyramid and sun. Possibly, right? But that's one of the very common symbols we see with the secret societies here. So Palantir, seeing events in the distant places or in the past. And we have this company, Oracle, O-R-A-C-L-E, and this is another one that's helping out with Project Stargate AI, another big AI company named Oracle.
So in every single one of these, I'm sure in the Bible or some type of historical ancient text, it says that all these demons team up, together or something along those lines to fight God, right? Or something along these lines, I'm assuming. All these AI data centers are now having the names of all these demons and all the representation of them. They will also have the data of all these humans around them. Probably the mark of the beast of some sort as well. This seems like it's issuing in demons, issuing in the new not good person that is spiritual leader. The new Antichrist. Ushering in the Antichrist.
But what does Oracle actually mean if we go back? It's a shrine consecrated to the worship and consultation of a prophetic deity as that of Apollo, or a person such as a priestess through whom a deity is held to respond when consulted. The response given through such a medium often in the form of an enigmatic statement or allegory, or a person considered to be a source of wise counsel or prophetic opinions, an authoritative or wise statement or prediction, a command or revelation from God. In the Bible, it's the sanctuary of the temple. Here we have Oracle, once again, connected to one of these major beast system companies, creating this Stargate AI system all around the world. So as I mentioned, we see all of these massive corporations, companies, governments preparing for that final beast system, the coming digital age, digital enslavement for the entire world, for everybody on the world will be connected to this system is what they want. And you'll eventually connect to that system through the mark, eventually. But it had me thinking of something else. With all the predictive programming we see in movies and television, this is also such a huge part of occult law, where this is a practice that we see, we see the Luciferians using all the time. Cremation of care even, right? Hiding from karma. But as long as they tell you what they're going to do before they do it, it's okay.
Yeah.
Most of you understand this concept. So, of course, I've noticed throughout the last several years,
that concept is what I call karmic retribution. They have to tell you, otherwise the karma won't touch them.
A lot of movies coming out that portray life during the tribulation. They may not exactly say that's what it is, but clearly this is life in America or other places after destruction, right? So in this case, perhaps after America, Babylon has been struck, we see what's left. I still say it's the tribulation, right? So after America, Babylon is hit, tribulation, and people will be living much like this. This is a new movie coming out called The Dog Stars. And like I said, there's several other movies, and I'm sure you've seen a bunch that are portraying life during the tribulation. And this right here is certainly another one coming out soon. At the end of the world, no one survives alone. But I just want to show you a few things from this trailer. But yeah, once again, we're getting a lot of this predictive programming, these types of movies of how people are going to be living. But what's most important is they also show you that it's going to be like a half and half with humanity. And I talk about it all the time. I call it the separation of the wheat and the tares, the sheep and the goats. And, I see it in a spiritual sense has been happening now in this world for quite a while. But in these movies, they always show that there's some survivors that are regular people just trying to get by and trying to live. But then the other half are completely demonic, turned over, totally evil, total chaos, total destruction. And we actually find that in some of this trailer as well. Also, it's really important to take note of the name of the movie, The Dog Stars. Many of you may know that the Dog Star is an actual thing. Yeah. It's Sirius. And Sirius connects us to the mystery schools, Mystery Babylon, to the Masons, to the all-seeing eye, also to Mother Goddess. Sirius is revered as the spiritual sun, or the hidden sun, serving as the source of divine wisdom and spiritual illumination from which our solar system's physical sun derives its reflected light. With these Luciferians, it's always something or some entity bringing an enlightenment to humanity outside of Jesus Christ. That's a problem, but it's very common. Going all the way back to the garden, once again, Lucifer bringing knowledge, enlightenment, right, outside of the Lord. It's mystically associated with Isis, Thoth, Hermes, and Mercury, symbolizing the bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, the gateway to higher consciousness and the all-seeing eye, or omniscience. We also find it as the blazing star in Freemasonry and Hermeticism. Sirius represents the blazing star, an emblem of divine omniscience and guide for initiates seeking enlightenment. It's also a gateway to the afterlife, guardian of the abyss, and a symbol of power. The dog star embodies power, will, and creative abundance, often linked to the Queen of Heaven, Isis, Mother Goddess, and the regenerative forces of nature, such as the Nile's inundation. Sometimes when I'm just watching a movie trailer, I'll see a lot of the common symbols that I see associated with this beast system. I see them as Satan's fingerprints on this different forms of entertainment, movies, TV shows, logos, commercials, whatever. But oftentimes they're common symbols we see throughout the system. And while I was watching this Dog Star commercial, the Dog Stars commercial, I noticed this right here. Look over on the left right there, and you'll see one of those symbols I show you all the time. It's the sigil of Lucifer, the Star of Ishtar, Star of Lucifer, 8-pointed star, and then right next to it, it's got a couple of the X's. And I did a video on this a while back called Our World is Being X'd Out, and how often we see the X, right? Osiris X, but we see the X constantly, and the X is another one of those common symbols in the system. And then throughout the trailer, as it goes on, really, you just see, like I was saying, that divide in humanity. You'll see there's some good people trying to make it during the tribulation, after the Lord came for his bride, the post-human existence. You can see there's regular folk, and then you can see the monsters. All these people that are completely turned over to evil. Could it be the terrors showing themselves, the monsters showing themselves amongst us? Large part of humanity demonically possessed, however you want to see it. But a common theme in these movies about the tribulation, even when they don't mention the tribulation. I'd mentioned how many of these movies will show us what's coming after the harpazo, the catching away, what's going to happen with humanity, but they never really mention the rapture or the tribulation. However, here's a movie that came out back in 2024 called Azrael, and they tell you straight up what's going on. It says right here, years after the rapture, the remaining human survivors on Earth are plagued by the burned ones, demonic humanoid creatures who are drawn to and prey upon human flesh and blood. Now, the reason I found that so interesting is because I've been listening to, for years and years and years, dreams and visions from folks, and so many of them have this exact vision. And I've shared those on some of my shows throughout the years because I always find those interesting. People having dreams and visions of the tribulation and demons walking the earth, demons looking like humans, chasing after the actual humans. And here we have it actually in this movie, Azrael, from just a few years ago. And this right here is what that looks like. You can see the demonic creatures, right? This is during the tribulation, demonic creatures attacking humans for their flesh and their blood. So you have some of this in the movie Azrael right here. Of course, showed you during the trailer for Dog Stars, the 8-pointed star, a very common symbol that we find in this beast system on these movies that are filled with programming. So here's another one where you see the 8-pointed star in this movie Azrael. You see the demonic creatures coming in. And then this is super creepy because at the end, she saves a baby. And then this is what the baby looks like. As you can see, it's like the devil, or just something evil being born, a demonic entity being born in those days. But yeah, it looks very much like a devilish type creature. I don't know if they were trying to say this was the Antichrist or not, perhaps. I'm not sure. But I did find the imagery very interesting and disturbing. She saves the demon baby, and then she gets power over the demons who are chasing after her. So I guess that's a happy ending? I don't know. We have Stratos, we have Hyperion, we have Palantir, we have Oracle. They're telling you what they're building using terminology from demonology and ancient texts about corrupted angels.
Yeah.
This is Satan's plan to enslave humanity with technology, and they're naming the infrastructure after demons.
100%.
So I think they realize that most people are too distracted to ever connect those dots.
Yep.
To me, this is what AI, digital currency, robotics, etc. is truly all about. People who are engineers and programmers will be useful idiots to maintain these demonic server farms and associated systems and applications. But the rest of the people will be ultimately subject to elimination by war or communistic social management. When the robot armies are operational and AI is making the decisions, they're going to take out most people. Not enslave them, but really take them out. They'll only keep people who have got skills they need to maintain their systems. And if you can't program computers or maintain robots, you and your family are most likely marked for elimination. And that's what technocracy means. Well, my friends, that concludes what I wanted to share with you in this video. And I truly hope it helps. And what's most important,
march for elimination, boys. We better learn programming now. The AI will kill us all if we don't know programming. If we can't fix their little bugs, if we can't fix their little glitches, they'd get rid of us. They'd get rid of us.